A predator is not just an animal. It is raw energy, pure instinct, a symbol of inner power that lives beneath your everyday consciousness. Right now, in this very moment, there is a force inside you that refuses to pretend, refuses to negotiate with its nature, refuses to apologize for what it truly is. And here's what most people never realize. The predator archetype that pulls your attention is never random. It's chosen by resonance, by the deepest part of your psyche that already knows what's happening in your life right now. Your eyes move first. Your body reacts before your mind can explain. That first pull, that's always a message from your unconscious self. Before we go deeper, if you're ready to explore the hidden chambers of your own psyche, hit that subscribe button right now, because what you're about to discover might change how you see yourself forever. And trust me, you'll want to come back to this. Today, you're going to meet 4 powerful archetypes, 4 predators that represent different forms of psychological strength living inside the human soul. The lion, the tiger, the panther, and the leopard. Each one carries a specific inner code, a destiny, a way of facing fear and standing in the world that might be mirroring your own unconscious patterns right now. But here's the thing, only one of them will speak directly to you. Only one will make your attention stop, make your breath catch, make something deep inside you say, yes, that's it. And when that happens, you'll understand something about yourself that words alone could never have revealed. And by the end of this journey, I'm going to tell you something about the predator you choose that even Carl Jung himself would have found fascinating. Something about shadow integration that most people completely miss. But we'll get to that later. Let me paint these 4 archetypes for you, and as I describe each one, pay attention to your body. Notice which description makes your attention sharpen, which one creates that subtle shift in your breathing, which one makes you lean forward just slightly. The lion represents solar consciousness. This is the archetype of dignity, natural authority, and heart-centered power. The lion doesn't apologize for taking up space. It doesn't shrink to make others comfortable. This is the energy of those who are learning to lead their own lives, to make decisions from their center, to shine without permission. The lion appears when someone is ready to step out of the shadows and claim their rightful place in the world. The tiger embodies strategic instinct. This is quiet power, the kind that doesn't announce itself. The tiger represents autonomy, fierce independence, and the ability to move through life on your own terms. This archetype belongs to those who have learned to trust their intuition completely, who can wait in stillness and then strike with perfect precision. The tiger appears when someone is ready to walk their own path, even when no one else understands the direction. The panther carries shadow wisdom. This is the rarest archetype, the one connected to psychological depth and magnetic presence. The panther represents the ability to navigate your own darkness without fear, to integrate what others push away, to see truth beneath surface appearances. This energy belongs to those who feel deeply, observe silently, and carry a power that needs no explanation. The panther appears when someone is ready to embrace their full complexity. The leopard represents adaptive intelligence. This is fluid consciousness, the ability to move between different states without losing yourself. The leopard embodies speed of thought, emotional flexibility, and instinctive timing. This archetype belongs to those who can read the room instantly, adjust their approach naturally, and find opportunities where others see only obstacles. The leopard appears when someone is ready to dance with life instead of fighting against it. Now, pause this video for just a moment. Look at the 4 predators you're imagining in your mind's eye. Which one pulled your attention first? Don't overthink it. Your unconscious already knows. Choose now. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now, because what I'm about to reveal about your choice goes deeper than any personality test you've ever taken. If your attention stopped on the lion, something profound is happening in your psychological landscape right now. The lion isn't just about confidence. It's about the emergence of authentic self-worth after a period of self-suppression. This archetype speaks to a very specific pattern that Carl Jung would have recognized immediately. For a long time, you've likely been carrying what he called the persona, that social mask we wear to fit in, to be acceptable, to avoid conflict. You've been making yourself smaller, quieter, more convenient for others. You've been hiding your natural authority behind false modesty or learned helplessness. But something is shifting now. The lion appears precisely at the moment when your psyche can no longer tolerate that suppression. There's a voice rising from your depths that says, enough. Not with anger, but with calm certainty. You're entering what Jung called the individuation process, the journey toward becoming who you actually are instead of who others expect you to be. And here's what's really interesting about lion energy that I'll explain in just a moment. But first, let me tell you what this means for your relationships right now. People who resonate with the lion often share a specific relational pattern. You give generously, you protect fiercely, you invest completely. But there's a threshold. Once someone crosses your boundaries repeatedly, once they demonstrate profound disrespect or betrayal, the door closes and it almost never reopens. This isn't cruelty, this is self-preservation. This is the lion knowing its worth. Your choice also reveals something about responsibility. You carry more weight than you should. You feel accountable for other people's emotions, for situations that aren't actually yours to fix, for outcomes you can't control. The lion is telling you something crucial right now. It's time to ask yourself what you're carrying that no longer belongs to you. The lion is connected to what Jung called the self, that central organizing principle of the psyche. Choosing this archetype means you're ready to live from your center, to make decisions based on your own values rather than external approval, to stand in your authentic power without apology. This is solar consciousness awakening inside you. You're becoming the main character of your own story, and the world is already beginning to feel the shift in your energy. If the tiger drew your attention, you've connected with one of the most psychologically sophisticated archetypes. The tiger represents what Jung would have called introverted intuition, that deep knowing that operates beneath conscious awareness. This isn't power that performs for an audience. This is internal strength that requires no validation. The tiger moves through life guided by instinct, by timing, by a strategic intelligence that most people never develop. If you chose the tiger, you possess a rare ability to pause when everyone else is rushing and to act decisively when everyone else is frozen in indecision. Your choice reveals something important about your personal history. You've likely been through periods where external support was unreliable or absent, times when you could only count on yourself. This experience didn't break you, it forged something unbreakable inside you.
You learned self-reliance not as a choice, but as necessity, and now it's become your greatest strength. The tiger archetype is also connected to what Jung called the shadow, but in a very specific way. You're not afraid to look at the darker aspects of yourself or your life. You can move through difficult internal processes without collapsing. You can face uncomfortable truths that others avoid. This gives you a psychological advantage that's hard to overstate. And there's something else about tiger energy that connects directly to Jungian dream analysis, but I'm going to save that revelation for after we explore the other archetypes. People who resonate with the tiger often possess what Jung called thinking intuition, that combination of analytical precision and instinctive knowing. You see patterns others miss. You sense intentions beneath words. You pick up on subtle shifts in energy and atmosphere. You're rarely wrong about people, even when you want to be. Your choice also speaks to your relationship with solitude. You're not afraid to be alone. In fact, you require it. Not because you're antisocial, but because you recharge from within. You're highly selective about who enters your inner world, and when someone does, it means something profound. The tiger is telling you something crucial right now. You're entering a phase where your strategic intelligence and intuitive precision will become your most valuable resources. Trust what you know, even when you can't explain how you know it. Your instincts are sharper than most people's conscious analysis. You walk your own path, and that's not loneliness, that's freedom.
If you chose the Panther, you've connected with what Carl Jung would have immediately recognized as the archetype of shadow integration at its most advanced level. The Panther doesn't just acknowledge the shadow, it inhabits it, explores it, and emerges with wisdom that light dwellers never access. This is the rarest choice. The Panther appears to those who live deeper than they speak, who feel more than they reveal, who understand that true power often wears the mask of silence. If the Panther called to you, you possess what Jung called introverted feeling, an intense inner emotional life that operates beneath a calm surface. Your psychological journey has likely included periods that would overwhelm most people. Deep transformations, emotional storms, moments of complete psychological isolation. But here's what makes the Panther archetype so powerful. You didn't just survive those experiences, you used them. You went into your own depths and returned with something precious: self-knowledge. The Panther represents what Jung called the transcendent function, that ability to hold opposing forces in tension without splitting apart. You can be both vulnerable and powerful, both gentle and fierce, both open and protected. This psychological flexibility is extraordinarily rare. And there's a specific Jungian concept about magnetic presence that explains why Panther people affect others so profoundly. But let me finish describing what your choice reveals first. People who resonate with the Panther often possess highly developed intuition about hidden motivations and unspoken truths. It's almost impossible to deceive you. You sense falseness instantly, even when you can't articulate exactly what's wrong. You read emotional undercurrents the way others read facial expressions. Your choice also indicates that you're in a phase of psychological rebirth. Perhaps you've recently exited a difficult relationship or ended a painful cycle. Perhaps you've spent time suppressing your authentic desires and voice, but something fundamental is changing. You're beginning to allow yourself to be who you truly are, not who others need you to be. The Panther is connected to what Jung called the anima or animus, those contrasexual aspects of the psyche that hold our deepest creative and intuitive powers. Choosing this archetype means you're integrating these hidden aspects, becoming psychologically whole in a way that gives you almost supernatural presence. Your depth is not a burden, it's your superpower, and you're finally ready to stop apologizing for it.
If the leopard captured your attention, you've revealed something fascinating about your psychological structure. The leopard represents what Jung would have called extroverted intuition, that ability to perceive possibilities and adapt to circumstances with remarkable fluidity. This isn't the rigid strength of the lion or the fixed strategy of the tiger. This is intelligence in motion. The leopard embodies psychological flexibility, the ability to shift between different modes of being without losing your essential self. If you chose the leopard, you possess what's called adaptive resilience, the capacity to bend without breaking, to change without fragmenting. Your choice suggests you've likely been through periods that demanded rapid adjustment, sudden changes, unexpected losses, moments when everything you counted on became unreliable. Instead of hardening or shattering, you learned to move, to flow, to find new paths when old ones closed. What began as survival has become mastery. The leopard archetype is connected to what Jung called the inferior function, but in a positive sense. You've developed abilities in multiple psychological domains. You can think analytically when needed, feel deeply when appropriate, sense intuitively when required, and act practically when necessary. This makes you psychologically versatile in ways that specialized types can never achieve. People who resonate with the leopard often possess exceptional emotional intelligence. You read social situations instantly. You adjust your communication style naturally to match what the moment requires. You create an atmosphere where others feel seen and unpressured simultaneously. This is a rare and valuable gift. Your choice also reveals something about your current challenge. Because you adapt so well, you sometimes forget yourself. You bend to accommodate others, adjust to fit environments, modify yourself to maintain harmony. The leopard is telling you something important right now. It's time to remember your own needs, your own boundaries, your own direction. You don't just survive life, you dance with it. And it's time to make sure you're dancing to your own rhythm, not just following everyone else's lead. Now, before I reveal those 3 crucial insights I mentioned earlier, smash that like button if this resonates with you, and make sure you're subscribed because we go deep into Jungian psychology every single week.
Now, let me give you what I promised. 3 insights about your choice that connect directly to Carl Jung's deepest work on the psyche. First, about the predator archetypes and dream symbolism. Jung discovered that when predators appear in dreams, they almost always represent aspects of our own instinctual energy that we've suppressed or disowned. The predator you chose isn't just a reflection of who you are. It's showing you which aspect of your primal self is ready to emerge into consciousness. If you chose the lion, your suppressed leadership is awakening. If you chose the tiger, your strategic instinct is rising. If you chose the panther, your shadow wisdom is integrating. If you chose the leopard, your adaptive intelligence is becoming conscious. Second, about magnetic presence and psychological projection.
Jung taught that we're most attracted to qualities in others that exist dormant in ourselves. The predator you chose represents qualities you're ready to claim as your own. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about recognizing who you've always been beneath the layers of social conditioning and learned behavior. Third, and this is the most important one, Jung said that individuation, becoming your true self, requires what he called the integration of the shadow. Every predator archetype represents shadow integration at different stages. The lion integrates the shadow of powerlessness. The tiger integrates the shadow of dependency. The panther integrates the shadow of superficiality. The leopard integrates the shadow of rigidity. Your choice shows you which shadow you're currently transforming into strength.
Here's what you need to understand clearly. The predator that responded to you isn't just an image or a fun personality quiz result. It's an archetype, a living psychological pattern that exists in what Jung called the collective unconscious. It's a reflection of the energy that's alive inside you right now, your current psychological state, your emotional direction, your truth that might not yet have been spoken out loud. Every human being has something wild, honest, and primal living beneath the surface, something that cannot be faked or suppressed forever. Today, you touched that part. You connected with it. You gave it recognition. And here's what I want you to remember. The predator you chose is not a limitation. It's a direction. It's an energy that will support you in this current period of your life, helping you find confidence, take steps forward, trust yourself, and release what no longer serves your journey toward wholeness. If this video helped you see yourself more clearly, if it revealed something about your unconscious that you needed to hear, then do two things right now. First, leave a comment telling me which predator chose you and whether the description resonated. Second, share this video with someone who needs to discover their own hidden strength, because we all know someone who's struggling to remember their power. And subscribe if you haven't already, because every week we dive deep into Carl Jung's revolutionary ideas about the psyche, the shadow, the archetypes, and the journey toward becoming who you truly are. The strength was always inside you. You simply allowed yourself to see it today. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Until next time, remember, your unconscious is always speaking. The only question is whether you're ready to listen.